Esto es el Madrid, esto es el Madridismo. Qué auténtica pasada. Welcome back to the channel, my beloved Madridistas. Okay, look, I know Kylian signed a 5-year deal and everyone's starting to talk about that. I'm not going to, okay? I've spoken a lot about Kylian in the past, and I will talk about Kylian in the future, but I'm just not ready to do it yet. I still, I'm not done honoring these players and the amazing season they've had. These guys are heroes. So what I wanted to do today is, I wanted to tell you about the tradition, the celebration here, because, you guys see a lot of the scenes, and I'll show you some really cool, pictures and footage and stuff. But, I want to tell you a little bit about the tradition, because, every time we win a European Cup, there's a process, where the players go, and it's very ceremonial, but it's very steeped in sort of tradition. So I want to tell you guys about it. 2.5 million people hit the streets to honor these players. Absolutely incredible. But let me tell you about this tradition, which is really, really cool. Welcome back to the channel. Love you guys. Let's get started. All right, Madridistas, welcome back. What a day yesterday, what a week. This was just unbelievably emotional, just so intense. But I want to tell you guys about this tradition in case, you're not familiar with it, which is really, really cool. And we do this every time we win a European Cup. Now that from start to finish, it's supposed to be about 4.5 hours, but it always ends up taking, a lot longer. But it's kind of cool. The first thing that the players, they are dressed in suits. They get in the bus. They go to a cathedral called the Cathedral de la Almudena, and they sort of present the trophy to the Virgin, La Virgen de la Almudena, and it's kind of a tradition. Now, it's kind of funny because it's kind of an odd thing to do. I mean, obviously Spain is very Catholic, and this tradition goes back to the 50s. But it's kind of funny because, we have obviously Muslim players on our team, Arda Güler, Antonio Rudiger, I don't know if, any others, but it was kind of funny. They were, very diplomatic, just kind of, going through the motions, but, they're very polite and handled it really well. But it was funny because, the players, they're not really into this ceremonial stuff, and you could just we were watching it, and you can tell they're kind of like rolling their eyes, like, what the hell are we doing here? But it was quite funny. There was a very funny scene where Luka Modric was carrying these flowers, and he just, he didn't know who to give them to, and he was just, kind of rolled his eyes. Very, very funny. But look at the amount of people that were outside the cathedral to receive the players. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. So then they go from there, from la Catedral de la Almudena, they go to la sede de la Comunidad de Madrid, which is, City Hall in the Puerta del Sol. So they make they get on the bus and they go to the Puerta del Sol, and look at the amount of people waiting at the Puerta del Sol. I mean, it's just completely insane. And then, of course, they meet with the president of La Comunidad de Madrid, the region, and then and the mayor of Madrid as well, who happens to be an Atleti supporter. So, this poor guy is just so sick of having to congratulate his fiercest rival. But, they do that, again, very ceremonial, and lots of pictures, and Florentino Perez has to speak and all this kind of stuff, and the captain has to speak. And then they go out to the balcony, and they speak, they take turns with the microphone speaking to the crowd, and they show the trophy, the cup. And, people are out there waiting. I mean, people are out there waiting for like 3-4 hours in the sun. It's just incredible. So they do that. And then after that, of course, they go down to Cibeles, towards the Castellana to the Cibeles. And the tradition at Cibeles is that the captain of the team, Nacho in this case, he has to put the scarf around the goddess, la diosa de las Cibeles, a scarf around her, and he has to kiss her. This is the tradition. The captain of the team has to kiss the goddess on the cheek. It's just a tradition, and it's been going on forever, but it's really, really cool. And look, the amount of people at Cibeles is it's bananas. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. And then, they get back on the bus, and they go up the Castellana, which is just packed with people on either side, all the way up the Castellana into the Bernabeu, where 90,000 people are sitting there waiting for like an hour and a half because the players were late. They were supposed to arrive at 10. They didn't get there till past 11. People are waiting there, 90,000 people for an hour and a half, just to say thank you to this group of players. It's completely insane. It's one of the craziest things you've ever seen. But I want to show you, another thing I want to mention, which is very unique. I mean, when you have celebrations of sports teams in other places, they get violent. There's like looting or rioting or this is completely the opposite. Okay, whether it's on the streets or in Cibeles or Puerta del Sol or in the Bernabeu itself. I'm going to show you guys some footage. People are just singing and chanting and doing the wave and there's people of all ages, grandmothers with kids. There's teenagers. There's just every mix of people and everybody is happy. Everybody's just really happy. So to pass the time, we would just sing different songs and waiting for the players, but it's such a positive vibe. There's none of this like angry negativity that you see in other celebrations in other places. But it's an absolutely incredible scene. Here, I'll show you guys another little clip here. It's just absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's really, really cool. It's an incredible experience. But anyway, so that's kind of what the tradition is and has been the case for decades and decades. What an amazing year, what an amazing week, what an amazing day. So I just wanted to share all this stuff with you guys. And, we'll have plenty of time to talk about Kylian. I will. But, he's going to have a lot of adapting to do because, this guy is going to have to work incredibly hard to justify his presence in this squad because, quite frankly, we don't need him, but clearly. It's exciting that he's coming. He's a wonderful player, and I'm a big fan. But I don't want to ruffle anything right now, and I think he needs to be very careful not to disrupt the chemistry in this squad. But anyway, I wanted to share all this stuff with you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for the comments and the likes and subscribing and all that stuff. I'll see you guys in the next video. And as always, a la Madrid.